Yes, we all know how angels die. Small silver knife goes into the chest and the angel goes boom with a bright flash. But what are the mechanics of it? How does it actually work? After all, we've seen angels get their throats slit and be completely fine. And let's be entirely honest, Naomi literally took a drill to the back of her head and it scrambled her brains for an omelet. Yet she still lived. So, what's going on here? Now, to be entirely honest, I'm not sure if we actually have gone over the details of what an angel is in terms of its components. Let's have this for a recap. Angels and supernatural are celestial beings, essentially.
As a multi-dimensional wavelength of celestial intent.
They're made up of two key components that make an angel, well, an angel. The first is something that has been shown and explained many times, the grace. As with the discussion when it came to the Nephilim, a grace is basically a soul on steroids, enabling angels to utilize their powers. Depending on the rank, or rather subspecies of an angel, those powers will either require a connection to heaven, or the powers are imbued into the angel itself, giving them a level of autonomy that is actually rather rare. Grace can be removed, devoured, and used in spells, and it can even be regained with very little issues. The more powerful the angel, the grace came from, the more stuff you can do with it, such as opening a portal to other universes if you happen to catch yourself an archangel. The second component, and really spoken about, referenced to, or even seen, is the spiritual body of the angel itself. You see, now this is important because it explains a great deal of confusing issues when it comes to angels. Essentially, what this spiritual body is would be the bright glowing light that we would always see when an angel appears, both with and without their wings. They can cause damage and emit light for their arrival when talking. But you see, the spiritual body, when the angel has its grace removed, actually becomes a human soul, which isn't a good thing for the human who happens to be inside the angel when that happens, because it's likely that they end up into their respective afterlife, or the soul is outright devoured by the newly created angel-based soul. Either way, it ain't pretty. With the bases covered, now what happens when an angel dies? Well, we know precisely what happens, but we are never told what actually occurs when an angel is stabbed with a blade. After all, we've seen angels survive having their throats slit. And of course, Naomi. But outside of those few instances, such as Jack killing Alt Michael, Chuck killing Michael, and that random angel Balthazar killed using the staff of Moses. I swear there's actually too many examples now I think of it. There's a uniform appearance that occurs when an angel dies. Now, from the first instance of angel death that we witnessed, Uriel, we see how the initial way it occurred. First, the angel blade hits into a vital spot in the body, and then upon death, bright light comes from the mouth and eyes. The body goes rigid in that state until a sudden final burst that blasts back anyone who happens to be in the immediate proximity. Once upon the ground, angel wings appears, scorched on whatever surface that is nearby, and the body is lifeless. Both the vessel and the angel are dead, with the human soul going to heaven or hell respectively, while the angel's animus gets sucked right into the empty for all eternity. Well, at least until Chuck or Death decides to pluck them back out. Alright, so far so good. But what is really going on in this moment? We never see inside the body, but given what we learned about souls being akin to nuclear reactors and grace, again, basically being a soul on steroids, we can surmise what is occurring. When the angel blade is inserted into a vital spot of the body, whatever magic or power that is imbued inside of the metal is acting to destabilize the grace. While the grace is normally stable and a constant source of inexhaustible power, as long as angels have their connection to heaven, or if the powers are imbued in them, the angel blade compromises that aspect. Power builds up within the vessel, as the spiritual body of the angel can no longer contain, which is almost like Chernobyl when it melted down. The power rushes out of the body through the only openings that it can actively utilize, the mouth and eyes. Though, when you think of it, the ears and the nose should also be available as escape routes. You see, it's more than just the grace exploding. It's actively burning up the animus at the same time with the small scale explosion. And what we are seeing when the bright flash occurs isn't actually the grace being destroyed, but instead the very second the angel's animus is being sent into the empty itself. In essence, the angel's death is briefly tearing a hole in existence. But this leads us to a question. If angels can only be killed by other angels innately, due to them either having extreme power or having angel blades, why were demons ever a threat? Now, while in the early days of Supernatural, the connection between light and darkness was not clear at all, how demons connected to that cosmic balance was also unknown at the time, but we have known at least since the 6th year that demons could kill, if not dramatically harm, angels, even without angel blades. I can already hear you saying, what the hell are you even talking about, crazy guy? To which I say, this. Now, I understand this not mean the angels were actually killed, but let's say they were. After all, Castiel was the only one who got the hell out of that place, and there was a lot of fighting before it got awfully quiet when Crowley was talking to Castiel. So I'm definitely going with the latter idea in this instance. Now, how could this even happen? Angel blades and greater powers should be the only way that an angel can be killed by a demon. And in that instance, you'd be correct. A demon. Well, of course, outside of Dagon. But as far as we are aware, no individual demon is capable of killing an angel without some sort of weapon, such as Death Sights, an angel blade, or dramatic enhancement from an archangel. But what do we see here? Let's look at it again. That's right, a huge number of demons engaging the angels upstairs. While we do not see the fight, we can tell it was a bad one. And let's not forget that this is before angel blades became plentiful to the point that everyone virtually had one. In fact, I don't even think Crowley has one at this current moment. That wouldn't happen until 3 years later in the 9th year. That kind of reminds me of something. Isn't it for you? Maybe this? You see, individually, it doesn't matter how powerful a being is when you can bring the weight of numbers against them. This is the greatest advantage of weaker beings against stronger ones. By pooling collective power, you can inflict horrible damage even on some of the most powerful beings who have ever existed. Something that has been proven time and again. But we are missing one other aspect that has been forgotten. What are demons? Are corrupted human souls, but they are also linked to the darkness. They are Amara's inadvertent children. When humanity is stripped from them, leaving only the most base, vile aspects of a being, they become a demon. More importantly, they become unrelenting. And just as the collective might of angels was able to severely wound Amara, how the individual power of light can smite a demon, the collective might of demons can slay angels. An overwhelming tide that snuffs out the light. Now, here's a funny situation. We've spoken about the various ways that angels can die. A theoretical way demons can kill angels by suffocating them with a tide of darkness. But how does that explain Naomi? Why didn't her drill cause her death? Frankly enough, we don't know. It should have, but if we take an educated guess, we can surmise that not everything that can wound can kill. In Supernatural, we have seen beings such as werewolves, vampires, leviathans, demons, angels, and even Lucifer take a hit.
So suck it.
And it does not kill them.
Ow! Where did you get that?
This is durability and immortality at work. This means that there are items which can be merely used as tools rather than a weapon. Naomi's drill, as we saw, can extract memories, inflict harm, and condition people. It can even cause blood to run down the eyes, clearly indicating some form of cerebral hemorrhage and cerebral damage. But it doesn't kill, regardless of how deep it digs. This means there are certain thresholds to break through a being's immortality and durability in order to kill them. Either this is due to a specific weakness, or being powerful enough to do so. Naomi's drill was clearly not strong enough to kill her. It was enough to scramble her brains, that would take years for her to put herself back together, and even then, just mostly. But it still didn't end her. While we have a lot of knowledge about how angels die, it's always good to have a baseline understanding of what's going on with the world supernatural. After all, it's a place that often does not spell out what's going on, requiring close attention and connecting the dots. Angel deaths are just one such area that need to be covered. Speaking of which, we'll soon need to see just how badly this wound was dealt to Amara. Yeesh, I think it did a lot more damage than anyone actually realized.